UFC Vegas 11 is going down this Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada. The main event, a welterweight showdown between the former welterweight champion, TYRON the Chosen One Woodley. He's taking on the former interim champion, Colby Chaos Covington. I'm Daniel Levi from linemovement.com, and let's take a closer look at this main event Saturday night. So the main event between Colby Covington and TYRON Woodley. It's so intriguing for a variety of reasons. Obviously, TYRON Woodley, I mean, look, they say the fight game catches up to you, but boy, does it catch up to you. I mean, this decline came out of nowhere. I mean, TYRON Woodley was on top of the world, defending his belt multiple times, and then he goes in there against Kamaru Usman. And, you know, when people like to throw around the term, he took his soul, Kamaru Usman took TYRON Woodley's soul. I mean, that brings me back to the Rory McDonald fight, and I kind of thought he got over that. You know, maybe we make an excuse. He didn't take him as seriously, this or that. But the Kamaru Usman fight was very, very alarming. It was worrisome. And then you hear these interviews that TYRON Woodley did, and he said that when he was champ, he was out here, you know, buying 8 cars, the mansions, doing the whole bit. He didn't invest his money. So, you know, word to all the young fighters out there, and not just young fighters, but anyone in any profession, save your money. So my dad always used to tell me growing up, he said, Daniel, you're only a millionaire if you have $1 million. And what that means is that, hey, you can touch $1 million, but if you look in your bank account and it doesn't say 1 million, you're not a millionaire. TYRON Woodley was living a life he couldn't afford to live. And now I feel like he's fighting for the wrong reasons. I don't feel like he's fighting for the love of the game anymore. I feel like he's fighting because he has to fight, because he blew all his money. And you can see it in the performances, man. Even his head coach, Dean Thomas, said that TYRON just doesn't have that dog anymore. You know, you're 25 and you want to, you know, kill everybody figuratively. And then you wake up one day and you're 40 years old and you just don't have it anymore. I mean, that's what his head coach is out here saying. And he's trying to say that for these 25 minutes, we got to bring back that 25-year-old, but it doesn't work like that. And with Chaos Covington, you know, it's one of these situations where I know his gimmick isn't everybody's cup of tea, and that's all fine and dandy. You don't have to watch his promo videos, but if you're saying he's a bad fighter, you're completely out of your damn mind, because this guy is an output machine. I mean, I've never seen anybody have such a competitive fight with the current champ, Kamaru Usman. And even though the final result says that it was a 5th round TKO, you got to read between the lines and actually watch that fight. It was a fight of the night. It was a back and forth war. And a lot of people arguably thought that Colby might have been up 3-1 going into the 5th and final round. So Colby, I feel like he's got unfinished business with the champ. And interestingly enough, there's the storyline that he left ATT, you know, his longtime camp. And, you know, they actually used to train together at ATT back in the day. But, you know, TYRON Woodley left as well. He's got his own gym in Missouri. You know, he did some time at Rufus Sports, the whole bit. But Colby Covington actually went to a rival gym in Florida called MMA Masters, and that's where Miguel Baeza is from. That's where the recently retired Ricardo Lamas is from. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does there, because they're a gym that they're known for their world-class jiu-jitsu, and they're known for their calf kicks. So I'm interested to see if Colby Covington adds some of those elements to his game, because we already know his wrestling is bar none. I mean, he's a D1 wrestler, and also the volume is on point. Now I want to see if he's adding some calf kicks, and maybe we can see some submission attempts from Colby as well, because basically this is a fight where, and, you know, we could say that in TYRON Woodley's prime, he was KO or bust, and that's partly true, but he won some decisions too. So we can't sit here and discredit him. But at this point in his career, it's 100% KO or bust. I would be shocked if TYRON Woodley won a decision in this fight. And I have to say that the explosiveness and the power didn't look like what it once did in that Gilbert Durinho fight. And I know after the fact, it's easy to say, well, Gilbert Durinho is the #1 guy on planet Earth right now. He's the #1 ranked welterweight outside of the champ. But going into that fight, TYRON Woodley was talking about how, you know, I'm not going to lose to no former lightweight, and, oh, this guy's just a jiu-jitsu guy with an overhand and this and that. And 1 minute into the fight, Gilbert Burns dropped TYRON Woodley. And if you thought that the Kamaru Usman performance was bad, just go to Fight Pass right now and pop on the Gilbert Burns fight. Very, very alarming stuff. And we're only a couple months removed from that fight. So I'm not really sure what kind of improvements we can expect from Woodley. I really do think it's a KO or bust situation. And I will say this, though. This is one thing that TYRON Woodley's got going in his favor. The biggest weapon to counter a southpaw is the overhand right. And you guys already know that that's Tyron Woodley's main weapon. So if he comes out here and knocks out Colby Covington in the first round, props to the former champion. But it just doesn't seem like things are meant to play out that way. It seems to me like Colby Covington still has championship aspirations. He has unfinished business with the champion. And I still feel like he can contend in the top 5 for a very long time. Whereas Woodley, you know, it sucks to say it, but he's damaged goods at this point. So I absolutely agree with Colby Covington being a big favorite in this spot. And I would be surprised to see Tyron Woodley get the win. But then again, that's why we tune in on Saturday night, because you know, we could sit here and throw out all the narratives we want, but they still got to get in there and fight. So I'm very intrigued to see what happens. And also, the press conference is coming up on Thursday. I can't wait to see what kind of, you know, trash and what kind of mess they're talking back and forth to each other. It's going to be very entertaining this entire week. So make sure you tune in. I'm Daniel Levy from linemovement.com, and I cannot wait for this main event between Colby Covington and Tyron Woodley.